The actions are of course the most important part of an automation script. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can get and set parameters from an automation script, and I'll also show you how you can use conditions. In this video, we are going to add the necessary actions we need to show or hide a banner in Singular Life. We are going to continue with the script we created last time, where we already defined the input. So let's connect to DataMiner Cube. This is the script we already created and added the input. So we are passing our Singular Life element and we are providing the action we want to execute, which means we want to show or hide our banner. I already added an information action, but I'm going to remove this one. The first action I'm actually going to add is not going to do anything, but I want to show you that you can also use logging. So you can not only use information events to check if some parts of your script are running, you can also use logging. And instead of logging a message, I'm going to log a variable. And then I can select the action parameter that we are using. So if I now save my script, execute it, and select show, for example, I will have logged the action that I provided. Now, where can you find that logging? If you go to Apps, System Center, and then select Logging, select DataMiner, and then go to Automation, you will now see I have a log file here, and I have logged my show action. I'm just showing you this because this is also an action that can be quite useful to check if what you are providing to your script actually works correctly. Now, let's remove this log because this is not what we want to do. We want to, based on the action, set the correct parameter in our Singular Life element. So before setting the parameter, the first thing I will add is actually an if condition. I will use this if to check what action was provided, because depending on the action, I will need to set a different value in my state parameter. To add a condition, I can select parameter or variable. If I select parameter, then I can compare the value of a parameter in an element to a specific value in my condition. If I select variable, then I can do the same with a parameter that was provided in my script. So in my case, I need to select variable and select my action. If my action is equal to, and then I can say show, then I will set my state parameter in my Singular Life element of my subcomposition state. So this is the name of my column. And I of course need to select the correct entry, which is the banner. Notice this drop down is actually populated because I have provided my configuration element. If I wouldn't have that, I would need to type in the key I want to use myself. So this is actually quite useful. And then I want to change the value to in because I want to show my overlay. So if I now save this, and I have actually Singular Life open here with a video stream, you'll notice that the text is not shown now. If I now execute my script and change the action to show, execute, my text is now displayed. This is now just a white background, so you cannot easily see it. So let's maybe wait a little bit. Now you can see that my text is displayed. If I now want to hide my text again and execute, you will notice it's still there. That's because I haven't added this set in my script. So now I need in my else to also set a parameter. But I have actually 3 actions. Remember, I have show and hide, but I also added a fade action. So instead of adding another set here, I'm going to add another condition. This can be quite useful, and you see you can make quite complex combinations because I can nest different conditions into one another. The condition I'm going to use is again my action. But this time I don't want the value to be equal to show. I want the value to be equal to hide. And now what I do is adding the same set parameter action for the same parameter, the same banner. But instead of using in, I'm now going to use out. And if I now save my script and execute it again, you will notice that my text is no longer there. The last action I want to support is fade. For this one, I don't need to add another condition, because if my action is not show and my action is not hide, then fade is the only option left. So for fade, I will add another set parameter again, the same one like we already have. And I will now first show my banner. But fade is not a specific singular action, so instead I'm going to create this one myself. To do that, I will first show it. Then I will add a sleep of 5 seconds. And then I want to hide my banner again. I don't need to add this set manually again. I can also just duplicate this existing one, move it below my sleep, and then the only thing I need to change is the value I want to set, which is out in this case. If I now save my script and execute again, if I now select the fade, you will notice that my text is displayed, and after a couple of seconds it disappears again. So now all my actions are supported, and you can see it's actually quite simple to start adding these actions. But by adding conditions, I can create quite powerful scripts. Now you know how to add these basic actions to set and get parameters and add conditions. And in a future video, we will start adding additional actions.